Hey, I have a secret. Not all investments are created equal. So let me break down the main types of investing and I'm going to say some golden nuggets that I found. So, first up, we're going to talk about stocks because when you talk about investing, that's generally where people's mind goes. And stocks are great because they give you the opportunity to own something. And as you know, we don't really own much here. So, they're a great opportunity. They have high potential, but they also have high risk, but they're great for long term growth. And that's what investing is about. It's not just about owning something that you spend or owning something that you get rid of. It's about owning something that you can keep. And that's why stocks are always number one, because they're great for long-term growth, and you can ride the ups and the downs and use compound interest to always make more money and save more money for your portfolio. So in a way, they're high risk, high reward, and the liquidity is high because you can sell and get your money. Okay, so next up, we got to talk about bonds. Bonds are kind of the inverse of stocks, meaning stocks are an investment on a company's potential growth. Bonds, which I really feel like we should be using more, is the actual interest that you'll gain if you loan someone money. So, someone, a company, or even government, you can buy bonds on, which basically says, hey, I'm loaning you this money, you're going to pay me back this money plus interest. So they're a lower risk than stocks, but the returns are also a little bit lower. So they're very steady, right? Because, hey, I pay you money, you're going to pay me back. So it's steady, but it's not as volatile, we'll say. So for bonds, it's low risk, low reward, and medium liquidity, which means if they still owe you money, you can't quite easily get that money back. So it's on a medium scale in terms of investment. Third up, when you tell people that you're investing, is they're going to think real estate, and they should, because real estate is an actual tangible asset that you can actually own. But the point of real estate is not to own the home that you live in, right? Because it's not really an asset because you have to live in it. So when real estate means owning a additional property, whatever kind of property, because the mindset is that I own this entity for it to generate income, not just own it to say you have it, but it needs to generate income for it to be considered an investment. Other than that, it's just something that you have. So there's a higher startup cost to real estate, right? Because you got to come up with a down payment. You may have to do some fixes or improvements on the property, but it's a tangible asset, which makes it valued a bit more. So for real estate, it's a medium risk, a high reward, right? Because the property can be passed around. You can build businesses through it, right? There's a lot of creative ideas that you can do if you own a property, but the liquidity is low because depending on the market, you may or may not be able to get your money back out of it. So, fourthly, when you start talking about investments, some people will bring up commodities. Now, know if they bring up commodities that they are rich because the average American does not have access to commodities such as gold, oil, coffee. These are things that we normally don't have access to. Yes, they are great investments, right? Because it's actual, again, it's a tangible thing that will increase in value, kind of like real estate. But the average American doesn't even have these commodities. So when I see that on the investment list, I go, those folks have money. So commodities are considered medium risk and they hedge inflation. That's the key. Rich people know how to hedge inflation. And the liquidity is high because it's a tangible asset that you can easily sell for money. And now, when you look up the investment list, the fifth one is always index funds and ETFs. I'm going to skip over that. Honestly, I would replace commodities with businesses. They never tell you that buying a business or owning a business is a huge investment. It's an investment on your quality of life. It's a next generation investment that you can leave for your children. And it's something you can do with your time. Imagine working in your business that you actually own. That feels a little different than working every day. How did you guys like this list? Did you feel better about this list? I'm swapping out commodities for businesses, and the last ones are index funds and ETFs, which to me kind of fold into the stocks portfolio. Let me know what you think.